American Space Museum. I'm Marquette, and we're so glad you're with us today to stay curious with Travis Triple T Thompson.
Yes,
How you doing,
sir.
buddy?
Great, buddy. Great,
Well,
man.
good.
Glad to be
Travis
here.
was, of course, the lead of the White Room crew, and he came up with a nice little program, not Tales from the White Room today, but Tales from the Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge, which Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral are certainly part of, right?
Yes, you're sitting. Everything is on a national wildlife refuge.
So you had a lot of checks and balances, meetings, probably things to go over to not fish, not hunt.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm not going to say that some of that stuff didn't maybe happen.
Well, after all, we had Mr. Jay Honeycutt, Kennedy Space Center director, on here admitting he was fishing in the turn basin with bass.
He could get away with it. He could get
He could
away
get
with
away
it.
with it.
Yeah.
So, well, we're so grateful to Carleton Bailie. Hi, Carleton.
Yeah,
He contributed a couple dozen images that he's taken in his 700 or so.
I knew he
rocket
would have
launches in there.
stuff for us.
So we've got a good little show about that today for you, and we've got one space shuttle launch of June to talk about. There you are, Triple T, looking all young. Marty's going to move that around a little bit. That image, Marty, to get that centered a little bit. There we are.
Yeah.
With your bunny suit on and your dark hair, things changed. Don't
Yeah,
they,
things changed. That's how we lived, That's a bunny suit. I had to keep all that party in the back stuff covered up.
Yes. Of course, we're proud of you that you have your #1 closeout crew uniform as we speak in the Udvar-Hazy museum. Look, there's 4 of us there.
Hey,
We're
how about
going
that?
crazy, Marty.
I got a twin.
Yeah, I got a twin. There's no 2 people that want to duplicate us, I guarantee you,
I
Travis.
bet that. I know.
We're proud of you, buddy,
Yeah.
that your spacesuit's
I
been
very
seen
much
by hundreds
appreciate
and
it.
hundreds of people today. Not your spacesuit, but your closeout crew.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, we're going to talk about the wildlife refuge here. Let's
Good.
just get into it.
Look
Tease
at
it
that.
a little bit. Carleton took that picture of these gators sunning near a pad, one of the launches he covered. And Marty's going crazy there. Marty Winkle, our Streamlabs engineer. And he got people to the moon a little better than he's doing today. But things happened there, Marty. There we are. Well, that's all right. We'll deal with that. There's been armadillos out there, of course, by the score.
Yeah.
Few manatees pop up once in a while. And a few ducks come up and down there a little bit once in a while. There.
I had a guy one time on the way to work, 9 teal flew out in front of him, and it cracked his windshield, and they all.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you gotta watch that.
So what we did is.
But while
them.
we're mentioning that, any incidences of wildlife hitting the vehicle, the orbiter going in?
There have been, and we had bird watchers because they had these kids basically, and they walked around with an air horn, and and they were bird watchers, and they got paid to. And we had balloons with big eyes, predator eyes and stuff. Yes.
But once in a while, an airline hits a bird flock or something. That never happened in shuttle era, did it?
The shuttle, as far as I know, it didn't, because basically what happens is as soon as the main engines fire, because it doesn't launch right away, it waits.
6.8 seconds.
Yeah, they wait to see that all engines are going, and that gives the wildlife time to. So what we liked watching, especially in the evening, was as soon as the main engine started, you could see every bird just taking off,
Yeah.
And it was, you understand, you're on the wildlife refuge then.
Day or night.
Yeah.
3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, and you could see it in the dark.
Yeah, because the flames of the.
Yeah, they're in the trees asleep. So yeah. And I went to lunch today and I saw one of my firefighter buddies. And he reminded me that we had black panthers. And I remember seeing a baby panther out there one day. I was driving the government truck. I pushed the clutch in, and I just waited, and I watched this thing crawl across the branch and jump over a little ditch like he had done it every day,
Wow.
you know. And I just watched him walk, and I don't know. I should have probably mentioned this to you earlier, but that's where either somebody wants to build a new pad north of 39D.
Yeah, 49 they're calling it.
And that will destroy wildlife. It will. This is where all the Panthers hang out. This is where and NASA has pictures of the Panthers.
Really?
They have definitely. They know they're there. So this is something, and they'll close our beach, Play Linda Beach.
Well, parts of it maybe. I've been to a few Chamber of Commerce type meetings on that.
We need to pay attention. To
we need to pay attention to it. It's where Musk is building at 39A a pad for the Starship, but they want to build a 49, and it will encroach on the beach one up there at Playa Linda. There's 13 designated beaches up there, but. Yeah, we'll keep you staying curious about that. We're talking with Triple T, Travis Thompson, Shuttle Astronaut Close-Out Crew lead. You've got something special you got in the mail that you want to show off.
Yeah,
Travis.
I do. How about this? I ordered this about 3 months ago, and
hold it up. They can't see.
I just got my license plate, and I'm
OVCCC1. What does that mean?
Orbiter Vehicle Closeout Chief #1.
There you go.
So that's my new license plate for my Jeep.
All right.
And it's a Challenger Columbia.
Of course. And yeah, and that money goes to the Astronaut Memorial Foundation.
That's exactly why I do it.
Who's friends of ours there.
Yep,
well,
exactly
Travis, you know we love celebrating with you the shuttles of June. We've got the last docking with the Mir Space Station and STS 91 and STS 40 Space Lab, and then I call it 3 aces. STS 111 hooked up things to the shuttle in 2019.
Right.
And 2022 we had another shuttle mission. But today, way back in 1985, we had the launch of the first Sultan in space.
Oh yeah.
And here is the crew of STS 51G in 1985, launched June 17th. It was a beautiful morning launch at 7:33 a.m. on pad 39A, the 18th shuttle flight overall in the 135 shuttle launch program. In the 5th of orbiter discovery, it had 5 rookies, and the pilot, Dan Brandenstein, that was only his second flight, and the other experienced one was John Fabian. But we had Shannon Lucid on her first flight of 5. Steve Nagel is in the picture there. John Fabian, his second and last. Payload specialist Sultan Salman Al-Saad, his only flight. And Patrick Baudry of France. So he had Saudi Arabia and France on this 1985 mission. 5 had never flown before, and 2 of them, Brandenstein and Fabian, had just flown one time before.
Once.
And so you were like you weren't the lead back in those
Not
days,
then.
but you were going up there. There's 3 people out of your shop, one the lead, and then 2
Yeah,
others.
right.
Tell us a little about that mission.
I remember specifically because I was in the mid-deck when the flight crew systems guys were putting in his stuff in his personal locker, his Karan, and he had a prayer rug, and there was something, and I can't remember what it was. It wasn't an app. They didn't have them then, but he had something that told him which direction Mecca was.
Okay.
So that he could do his prayers every day. I thought it was a big deal. I thought it was pretty cool that we
Well, that's
were
him
doing
today. There's the
international.
Sultan today. He is the first member of a royal family to be an astronaut, the first Arab to be or Muslim to fly in space. And he's now 65 years old, chairman of the board of directors for the Saudi Space Agency, of course.
Good for you.
And a minister there. Yeah, he's still very active.
Good.
And,
I'm glad.
Now, Dan Brandon, here they are in space. Dan Brandenstein, there, the commander, he was a one pilot and then a commander.
Yeah.
And then the pilot there, John Crichton, on the front left.
Right.
He became a pilot just after one.
Right after
Once
one.
as he became a commander after one stint as a
Let
pilot.
me
Because it was early. They didn't have
Yeah.
many guys to cycle. Usually it's twice a pilot and then a commander.
normally.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Mr. Dan, when he's in the room, you know he's the commander.
Brandon, do you?
You know he's the
All
commander.
right.
It's very obvious.
Good. Well,
I don't know
again,
how
that's
to
why they're
describe-
commanders,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They take charge and are responsible for everything. So you're saying he got a little 4 flights that you had him in the White Room,
Oh, I did.
and you remember him.
Oh, I do, definitely, yeah. And I remember just, yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's all you say to.
So he wasn't joking with you and asking
Uh-uh,
you,
no.
but not the KDI.
No, we wasn't one of those guys.
Okay.
You know. My KDI guys were mission specialists.
King's
and
Duck
stuff.
Inn,
Yeah.
one of the local watering holes around here. One of the most iconic photos, Marty, of the whole program is this gorgeous shot of Discovery lifting off on this mission. You see it on a lot of posters, and we've got postcards of it here at our gift shop and stuff. Just an awesome, awesome photograph there. As Marty's having fun. Hey, whoa. Okay, I'm trying to shut up, Marty. Let him talk. But this, the purpose of 1985 was the 18th flight. It was a space truck taking up this Mexican satellite and one for Saudi Arabia, and they were paying America to do that. And then of course 7 launches later, it all changed with the 25th launch in Columbia. Challenger. But you mentioned the lower deck. Tell us about this picture.
Yeah, look at that.
There's Shannon on the right.
Okay.
I think that's in the middle is Shannon Luce on the right. Fabian's in the middle.
Yeah, I can't really tell, but
And
I
then you
see
got
him.
Nagel and Baudry in there.
So this is prior to the pumpkin suit. Challenger, we had these light blue and basically a motorcycle helmet with comm. It didn't have a whole lot of survivability.
Basically, just so your head wouldn't bang around on
Yeah,
something, I guess.
it was. This was. And firemen, one of the firemen, when if they bail out into the ocean, the best way to lose the astronaut is to let him go in the ocean wearing that light
In a
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best camouflage he can have. So that's when we went to the pumpkin
Yeah,
suit.
why
So
did they think about that? 25 flights like that.
Yeah.
Where are they sitting?
They're on the mid deck, and this is the airlock, the round thing you see behind the 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the airlock.
To the payload bay.
Right.
Okay.
So the gentleman standing up
Baudry.
is by bay 3, and this sitting here is by the toilet. That's
that'd
in
be
front of
Shannon
the
Lucid
toilet.
over by the toilet. There.
Okay, that's the toilet.
And
They were little jump seats that we had to install that were not a normal. I don't remember the exact reason that we had to do this, but we put these little jump seats.
like a lawn chair almost, right?
Yeah, it's just extra.
Well, this was a 7-day mission, quite long in the early days. Prince Salmon, Salmon they call him, Prince Salman. He deployed the Arab Sat 1B communication satellite. And this was a Star Wars strategic defense initiative mission also. With some top secret stuff on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Now you just clicked my. Because I did have a top secret, what we call a red badge.
Uh-huh.
And that doesn't mean you know the secrets. It just means you know your little part of whatever. But yes, I remember doing ComSec for that.
Uh-huh. Well, what do you remember about it? Just
Well, it was a language thing,
Oh, okay.
and that was it was above my pay grade, but I had to access it, open it, and let the guy do his stuff.
Okay. All
So
right. Star Wars technology
exactly,
from the Reagan
and
administration.
that stuff was cool.
Yeah.
Just being a part of little stuff like that. That was the whole reason I was okay. This is a space thing. I get it.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're part of national defense at that point.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot to surmount on Kennedy Space Center: mosquitoes, heat, different things. But the critters are something we're going to talk about today with Travis at the Merritt Wildlife Center there. And thank you, Carleton Bailie, again for these pictures that he's supplied to us. As you set up your pictures, your tripod.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at alligators first. Tell us about alligators.
We had gators everywhere. We had a gator crawl in, 10, 11 footer, crawled into the gate, the main gate at Pad A. And they
Let's see a picture of that. What, see those two there?
Yeah, huge ones.
Would that be 39A?
That looks to me like 39A.
Yeah.
And big gators, and they're everywhere out there. They're all around it. And they walk in the gate. We have hogs come in the gate.
There's another. We'll see hogs in a minute.
Yeah.
With seeing the cars parking there, they look pretty close. I mean,
that was the building my office was. Well, I hated calling it my office, but that's where my desk was. And we had gators walking up all the time. And then, in the pad gate, they'd walk in.
How about the SRB's exhaust blowing on your cars there? That ever happen?
You need to wash your car the next day.
Really?
Yeah, you do, because it's an acid.
Would they give you a pass for it?
I don't remember it, but they...
Marty, you remember that?
It's an acid.
They give you covers for your cars.
Yes, they
They
did.
give you covers for your cars.
Plastic covers.
Yeah.
Did you park this close to the pad to work?
No, I was smarter than that.
He was smarter than that. Marty was in an air condition away from gators and any critters.
I parked kind of by the...
Well, look at this.
Oh, my God.
Laying at the
Look
gate
at
there.
him laying there. Yeah.
Good shot there, Carleton, showing you the gate there. And
that's what I'm telling you. They were everywhere.
Huh.
You're on a national wildlife refuge.
There's another one there. That's at the Titan, probably 41.
Okay, I see
on
it.
Cape Canaveral there. It's a
Yeah.
pad there, but yeah.
And they don't know that's a rocket launch pad.
No, they're just looking for lunch.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that's got his back turned to one
He
there.
don't
That's
care.
a little bit dangerous there. Because they can, have you seen them run or climb anything?
Dude, yes.
Okay.
I am a Florida
tell
boy.
people that don't know alligators. We got Michiganders. We got
They're
people around the world watching. They
They're
don't understand.
spontaneous. They react really fast to certain things, and you don't know what's going to trigger that reaction. So a lot of time it's food.
They can climb the fence.
And they can climb a fence.
They're on their tail, and they just...
They can climb a fence. I heard they're fast as heck, and the only way if one's chasing you is to zigzag.
You have
With
to
their eyes on
zigzag.
each side of their head, they have
Yeah.
trouble.
You have to zigzag. I was actually a trapper, and I got the biggest one I ever got was 14 foot 2 inches. So yeah, I've done all that. But I'm a Florida boy. I got to do it. So, but these gators there were just so many of them everywhere that was something that you just kind of got. You just had to look under your vehicle before you got in, make sure there wasn't a gator under it.
Really? There's Carleton in his youth, younger
Look
days
at
there.
him.
Hi, Carleton, again. Thank you for sharing these pictures. And a couple gators behind him.
I know where he's at.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
You know right where that's
I know
at?
exactly where he's at.
Where is he at?
It's on the way to the pad. He hasn't gone around there. They stopped on the side of the road and pulled over. There's a pond and stuff.
Well, here's Carleton again showing you that he is like, he's like the same distance from the camera to the 14-foot gator there. And he's a brave man, that Carleton Bailie. isn't he?
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Where's that located? Is that the turn basin?
That looks like the turn basin, but I don't know what that cone-shaped thing is.
Well, and even a rocket launch, look at what's in the water. It's a dolphin.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them.
The little
boy.
dolphin in the right-hand corner there, Marty, is where the dolphin is. But that's a beautiful launch.
Wow.
I don't care what you say. Yep, there's a dolphin right
Yeah,
there.
there he is.
Yep. So, Well, of course, a lot of birds, ospreys there,
yeah.
all over the place.
Oh, my Lord.
Beautiful eagles,
Yeah.
all over the place.
And there was an eagle's nest in one tree that NASA actually put a camera in, and you could go on, I don't know, NASA Select or whatever, but they filmed the baby eaglets and everything in it. So that's part of the refuge. This
Yeah.
is a wildlife.
Well, you go on the tour when you head out away from the center. They
Right.
go to Saturn V. They show you
Show
the
you
big
those
2-ton nest or something that's been there for a long
been there
time.
forever.
Yeah, but here's a very cool picture, Carleton. You see the deer, couple deer there in the middle. They're fueling a Titan rocket. Okay, or Atlas. No, that's a Titan rocket on the pad there, probably 41. Marty, you see the deer there to circle for our Stay Curious friends there. You've seen a lot of deer, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I would on purpose about 6 in the evening when I was on second shift. I would on purpose take the government truck and go get gas, and I would drive down the beach road and probably see 200 deer.
Huh.
And it was just, I just wanted to go fill the vehicle up.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose was to watch the deer and turkeys. Oh my Lord, you could see, and they would hang out at the same time
Mhm.
together, kind of.
Well, one of the nastiest creatures out there are these feral hogs because they do damage looking for stuff in the.
Oh, they would tear the pad up. They would come in the pad gate and just tear the sod, tear it up.
Oh, about one of the photographers, and usually you see, rarely you see just two. There's usually a whole bunch of them up there.
I guess, am I allowed? I could say this. When I was 15 and 16, I used to hunt pigs on the refuge.
Mhm.
I have led quite a few KSC's finest on a trip through the woods. And we used to catch hogs out there when I was a kid, and especially at Christmas for New Year's.
Okay. Good old Christmas hams, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here's another animal critter of a different color, the
How about
armadillo.
How about that?
And I've heard a lot of stories by the old guys out Cape Canaveral in the 50s and 60s talking about some of the things they did to armadillos and turtles. You heard those stories, haven't you?
Oh, yeah,
Well, why don't you share a few?
I can remember actually when I first started, it was 1979, and I see this turtle coming by the parking lot. This is before High Bay 3 was built and for the OPF, Orbital Processing Facility. And it was a big field. And I saw this turtle, and it was said 1977 something. They painted it and put the date on it. So, and then, like Marty said, I've seen armadillos that they just paint colors and either write a date or maybe a mission.
A mission on the
like
armadillo.
STS something, or
Well, that's a cool picture of an armadillo there. Look at this one. This is
oh, look at him.
A Delta Dillo there. It's a Delta spacecraft of Boeing's there. That cool picture there, Carleton. That's a classic there.
So let me tell you real quick. One of the things that I have been told more than once since I mentioned KSC's finest.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this more than once. Let me remind you, this is a national wildlife refuge.
Mm-hmm.
So that was usually the beginning of the conversation when you were doing something wrong.
Well, did you have meetings? I know NASA had a lot of safety meetings and so forth. Were there regular meetings to talk about the wildlife and respect for them?
The only time I can tell you this, and it was a secret,
Mm-hmm.
we were launching plutonium, and
STS-34 was Mike McCulley, pilot of that plutonium mission of Galileo to Jupiter.
So they called me to a meeting before launch and said, what we're going to do is we're going to put trip flares all around because what they were afraid of was people trying to disrupt the launch and storm the pad.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, what we're going to do is put trip flares all around the pad. And they're set at 180 pounds. And I want you to watch for this trip flare in case somebody trips it. And I said, that's when I stopped. And Mike McCauley, I said, okay, which way's the wind blowing? And everybody looked at me like I was an idiot. And I said, okay, on launch day, which way is the wind blowing? And nobody could answer. And then Mike McCauley finally said, Trav, I think I know what you're saying. So what I was complaining about is I can't have a trip flare, a magnesium flare, 2,800 degrees, floating on a parachute, drifting towards my 3 million gallons of rocket fuel. And all of these really intelligent people didn't understand, and I said, no, this is not happening. And I said, you know what? We got pigs bigger than 180 pounds. They're going to trip this. I don't want this. And the next day, Mike had them all. I called him on my way to work that morning, that launch. And he said, everything's fine, don't worry, you got it all good. So, yeah, that's the kind of relationship you had to have with the launch director.
Well, good. They're talking about Mike Leinbach, the launch director of some 37 shuttles at the end of the program. We hope Chalid Zatz is enjoying Triple T's Tales here. Christopher Parsons, we know is. Christopher Mick, thank you for watching.
Good, Chris.
Janine Lynn is watching. Ophelia, say hi to Ophelia.
Hi,
there
Ophelia.
in Normandy, France.
Yeah.
And Dave Stangy's up in Michigan. William Whiting. Glenn Ashworth, thank you for joining Stay Curious. Danny Noah and Tanya Thompson.
Hey, my baby doll. Okay.
Yeah, my
Hi,
daughter occasionally
sweetheart.
watches also. So we appreciate everybody staying curious. Tom UCX watching. He's over on Hilton Head Beach or something. No, Atlantic City.
Oh, Atlantic
Beach.
City. He's
Nah,
probably
Hilton Head
taking.
area.
He's probably taking a couple of bird pictures or something.
Yeah, I would
Wildlife.
have, but Carleton's moment to shine here. Is our outreach of our photographers here. He's got some good stuff, doesn't he?
Yes, very good.
Let's look at a couple other ones here of critters. There's another armadillo sneaking out there behind must be 41. But
Looks
turtles.
like it.
There's the press site.
Yeah.
And a big old the tortoise. Not a turtle, that's a tortoise.
Tortoise.
So you saw them out there a bunch too, huh?
Yeah, bunches. I mean, everything Florida is there. Redfish. We could see the redfish underneath the docks. You could see tarpon in the turn basin. There's manatees. Yes, it was just and I'll admit that I would find reasons to go out and find, and we would just go look and see stuff. I did it. I swear. And it was, God, it's a wildlife refuge. It's awesome.
Well, of course, nature lovers and photographers go out there.
I love
it's
it.
a wonderful part of it. You pay to get in to Playa Linda beach area,
Right.
but most of it is free, and they have a loop where you drive around about 7 miles and can see all kinds of things. And this is why birding is so popular here.
Yeah.
They were having a huge birding festival here.
And if you come see
February.
a launch, you should go take that tour
Yeah.
and, do that.
Yeah. Well, Triple T, we've enjoyed sharing a little bit of the critters on the Space Coast. Marty, do you have anything to add today?
Nope.
All right. Well, we've had another great
Marty,
week.
I got a question. Marty, did you guys ever sneak out and take a ride just to go get gas or something like I did? Or...
Yeah, I never did.
So I'm a bad boy.
We know Marty's a good boy. Okay?
Yeah, we know Marty's a good boy.
But he's fun. He's got his share of fun. He's no prude.
Okay,
no,
no.
Marty, how
He's
about
a
the
good
running
golfer,
out
too.
there? Just popped in my head that I know you organized some of the marathon
Yeah.
and 8K runs and stuff like that out there. when you set the, I mean, I know you ran up and down the shuttle runway a few times, right?
The runway is usually clear. I mean, there's spot detectors all over the places.
Yeah.
People, but if you go training out there, and I've come across hogs many times during my training runs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We've had gators inside the buildings.
Gators in buildings, hogs digging holes outside by your car.
Yes.
And you got to look under your car and make sure there's
You
not a
you
gator
want to
under.
look under your car before you
Huh.
get in, especially at night, because they'll go under it during the day. You know.
Right. Well, Tales from the White Room with Triple T. We end you with this picture that Carleton sent me. Carleton takes these little
Look at that.
creatures out there. This is something, I forget what he calls it. It's a cross between Godzilla and a Ninja Turtle. I
I'm
think,
okay
out
with
there.
that.
But yeah, he even I think that's Carleton has a shirt like that he wears.
Ah,
also.
there you go.
Love
That
you,
kinda
buddy.
looks
Thank
like
you for
him.
sharing.
Yeah,
what,
thank you very much,
Yeah,
Carleton. Appreciate
made a
it.
good show there. Triple T.
There you
Thank
go.
you for
Back in the day.
Yeah, wanting to be part of Stay Curious, and we've completed another week. We've I think Tuesday will be our 600th episode. Triple
That's
T.
awesome.
And we've done a more.
You and Marty have done a great job. Really, really awesome job. And you know what? We're getting well known. So thank you very much.
Well, we couldn't do it without the support of all of our people that have been watching it. All you long haulers like Christopher Mick and
Yeah.
and
Dave.
Dave Stange and the UCX and Chris Callie's now on board, wonderful artist. So
Yeah.
we do appreciate everybody. We'll take, you got an idea that you'd like to hear Triple T talk about. You can get a hold of me at marq@americanspacemuseum.org or put it in the notes here. We always look at the comments at the end. So, buddy,
I do
appreciate-
have stuff you haven't heard yet.
Good. Good. So stay curious again. Triple T, thank you very much for another great program. On behalf of our wonderful museum here in the middle of downtown Titusville, we encourage you to come visit us personally.
Please.
You'll find that we are a one-of-a-kind, unique museum just 9 miles away from where Artemis rocket is poised right now.
Wow,
to
isn't that
launch.
cool?
So,
Really? That is
yeah.
like,
We're blessed.
God, I can't wait to see that.
Well, we're looking forward to it. By the way, since I mentioned it, they're supposed to start the countdown tomorrow, Saturday, and the actual important countdown simulating the astronauts on board starts at about sometime Monday morning, I think about 10:15, and the actual T-0 is like 2:15 in the afternoon on Monday.
Wow.
So we've got the auction coming up a week from Saturday. I didn't put a slide in on that, but go to AmericanSpaceMuseum.org and go up at the top, click auction. You'll see 400 items that you can bid on now. And believe me, bid till it hurts. There's some amazing items on there. And we'll be promoting that all next week. We'll have Chuck Jeffrey, the auctioneer and our collection analyst, and chief operating officer will be here Tuesday.
I talked to Chuck the other day about it. He's excited about this auction.
Yeah, this is our 20th auction, and it keeps our doors open, and it has
Good job.
some really good stuff in it there.
Yeah,
So,
you can even get a rocket motor.
you can get a rocket motor, a Rocket 9 engine is on there, or a motor that was on the built for the Mercury.
Oh,
One of
the
Mercury's on there.
escape capsule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Autographs all kinds of autographs on there.
All kinds of cool stuff.
That's right. So we thank everyone. Thank you for reminding about the auction, Marty. As we're going out here, of course, thank our executive director, Karan Conklin, for leading the pack here of what we're trying to do, and that is simply preserve the
Karen's
birth of
great.
America's space age in its delivery room, Brevard County. So on behalf of Travis and our whole team here, I'm Marquette saying, visit our American Space Museum or watch our Stay Curious. Why? To bridge the space between us.
Come see me. Come on.